Today, Baba is talking about a good effort maker. And Baba is saying that this confluence age is the time for effort. We have to make effort. And what is the sign of a good effort maker? Baba says that good effort maker will be a Mahavir. Yes, so their stage would be unshakable, immovable, and stable. If I'm a good effort maker, I will not utter the words that, Maya was more powerful than me, or I will not get affected by the scenes of the drama and whatever part is playing out around me. I will always be able to move ahead in my spiritual journey of effort and seva, come what may. So that is the sign of a good effort maker. And how do you become a good effort maker? How do you become somebody who has an unshakable, immovable, stable stage? Right now, what do you think? You would describe your stage as unshakable and immovable? Or it is wobbly? So, something happens and then suddenly all the happiness is gone and there is worry or there is fear or, Maya can make us engage in some vikarma, some kind of actions which we regret later. So Baba says those who are good effort makers will not regret their actions later. So they will never think that I did this and I shouldn't have done this, or I should have done this and I didn't do it. So that is the sign of a good effort maker. Now, Baba says a good effort maker, how do you become that? First is you follow the father and mother fully. Yes, so Baba always gives directions about what we should do to change from a human to a deity. But sometimes, we cannot really interpret words and we don't know how to do it. So Baba says that Mama and Baba, they practically did what Baba says in the Murli. Yes, so Baba always tells us that you follow Mama and Baba in action. So whatever Baba did, so you see, Baba tells us that you should have a Brahmin lifestyle. Now, what is a Brahmin lifestyle? How do you have an image of that? So when you see Brahma Baba, you know what a Brahmin lifestyle should be like. So we all came after Brahma Baba, Mama became Avyakt. So they ascended to the subtle region. After that, we all came. So we need to understand Mama Baba for following Mama Baba. Yes, so for that, it is recommended that you read or their life history. So their life history is, there is this book called The Bestower of Fortune, which is based on the experiences of the brothers and sisters who played their part with corporeal Brahma Baba. And when you read that, you understand how Brahma Baba responded to everything around him and what was his response and what were his actions based on Baba's Srimad. There are many other such books also. So, and about Mama also, there is a book, Jagadamba Saraswati. So that book also is so I think if you search online also, you will get all these books. So Jagadamba Saraswati is the book about Mama and her virtues and whatever she upheld in her spiritual journey. So when we understand how Mama and Baba responded, so let me give you very simple examples. So you see, Baba was somebody who lived in the family. Yes, so Brahma Baba was a grihasthi, a family man. So he had a wife, he had 4 children, and he had wealth which he had accumulated through his, effort in the Lokik world. And then how did Brahma Baba belong to Baba? Totally. Brahma Baba never said, I have a wife, I have children, how can I surrender fully to you? So Brahma Baba surrendered fully. And for that, he didn't leave anybody. He just converted his Lokik life into spiritual. So he changed his attitude. He never thought about, he never had this thought later that this is my wife, my children. And it was very interesting to observe that even Baba's children, he felt that our father is now God. So, they used to, because they couldn't understand that it is Shiv Baba who has entered his body. So they just said, my father has become God. So they didn't feel that, this is my father. They had that regard for the father that he is now God. And then Brahma Baba's wife also, Yashoda Ma, she also had this attitude towards Brahma Baba that this is God's instrument now. And how could that perception change? That perception changed because Brahma Baba worked a lot on his stage. Brahma Baba was doing that work of being in soul consciousness and having that, alaukic vision, spiritual vision towards everybody. And there is one particular incident which I would like to underline. And in that incident, so whenever Brahma Baba used to step out of the house, Yashoda Ma used to put a tilak on his forehead and, touch his feet because that's the custom in India for the wife. So when Brahma Baba was stepping, so later when Shiv Baba entered Brahma Baba's body, then all those things stopped because, of course, Shiv Baba says, I don't have feet. So whose feet are you touching? So Shiv Baba says, just remember me. So those things stopped. And then one day, Yashoda Ma said that, like earlier times, I'm feeling like touching your feet. So then Brahma Baba said, okay, so that means I have to work on myself more. So he didn't say, why are you having these thoughts? He just said, let me work on myself more. So that means that, Brahma Baba showed this path through his own life example that if you change your awareness of who you are, and if you change your vision towards all who are around you, then they will also have the same vision towards you. But if your vision and your attitude is that of I and mine, then they will also feel that attachment towards you. So this is how, when you look at how Brahma Baba and Mama, now look at Mama. Mama was a Kumari. Mama was, Mama was not into, Mama had not got married or she didn't have a family of her own. She was a Kumari. She was an unmarried Kumari. So then how Mama surrendered was very different from Baba. So Brahma Baba had all the resources. So he surrendered with all the resources. So, Brahma Baba had enough wealth to take care of the yajna for 14 years. Do you understand? 14 years, 400, Baba's children getting sustained from Brahma Baba's wealth. So that kind of wealth Brahma Baba had. And Brahma Baba had already, wound off his business. So it was not that 14 years there was inflow of money and then it was being spent. No. All the amassed wealth, that which Brahma Baba had earned or in his lifetime, that wealth was used for 14 years of service. And that was the dedication that Brahma Baba had. And so Brahma Baba had the resources, so he surrendered with the resources. And then Mama was a Kumari Kanya. She didn't have any money, she didn't have any wealth, so she gave her life to Baba. So she surrendered with her life, she surrendered with her qualities, with her specialities, with her love for Baba. She gave her time, thought, energy, life to Baba. And whatever Baba said, Mama carried that out without questioning. So even if, so there was one time when Baba tested Mama, and Baba asked her, there was this one bird which had a nest outside, where we were residing, and then the bird had laid eggs in that nest. And then Baba picked one egg and said, Mama, open your mouth, I'll feed this egg to you. And Mama opened her mouth. Mama didn't say that, Baba, this is not Shiv Baba Srimad. So then Baba said, you have passed. So, that was the kind of obedience that Mama had. So, whatever Baba said, Mama never questioned, whether this is possible, impossible, whether this is right, wrong. Mama was fully following directions. And Baba says that when you listen to, when you understand Baba and Mama, then you will follow Baba Mama. Because you listen to the Murli, but what happens is we are mostly in body consciousness. And when we are body conscious, then when you're listening to the Murli, you think that, Shiv Baba is saying it. So Shiv Baba is not living in this world. Shiv Baba doesn't know my problems. Shiv Baba doesn't know my limitations. So Shiv Baba is speaking to those who don't have the limitations I have. Yes, so that is how we dismiss Shiv Baba Srimad. Yes, because we think that, what does Shiv Baba know? Shiv Baba doesn't go to office. Shiv Baba doesn't have 4 children to feed. Shiv Baba doesn't understand, what are the problems of Kali Yuga. So we always tend to disregard Shiv Baba Srimad because we think Shiv Baba is incorporeal. And he comes from the soul world, and we live in this world, and we are pretty body conscious, and we think that, we don't understand that Shiv Baba has come to speak to me. So we think that, maybe Shiv Baba is speaking to somebody who doesn't have my problems, and they will follow everything fully. But Baba says that when you see Baba and Mama, they are in the corporeal form, in the corporeal world. And they are people who belong to this time, even some years even have passed, but still they belong to this Kali Yuga, this whole, this time of Kali Yuga. And Baba says, when you understand this, that Shiv Baba is, the Brahma Baba and Mama did everything, then you can follow them. And you have this faith that, if a human being in this world can do what Baba says, why can't I? Yes, so that is why Baba has kept both the examples, that of somebody who is in a family and that of somebody who doesn't have a family. So both of the examples Shiv Baba has given, so that we can follow them. I'll give you one, I'll share one incident with you. So there was this one brother, and he had once come and he said, I don't believe that God has come. Okay, I don't believe that God from the supreme abode has come and he's teaching you all. So I said, all right, then what do you believe in? So he said, I believe in Sri Ram. Okay, so I believe that Sri Ram had come and it is Sri Ram who is God. So I said, all right, no problem. So do you do what Sri Ram did? Do you live with your parents? He said, no, I have abandoned them. So I said, but Sri Ram gave up his life for his parents, He went to 14 years of exile for his father. So why are you not doing the same thing? So, and that too, his father was under the illusion of a false promise. And for that also Sri Ram did so much. So Why don't you do the same? Are you a senior brother like Shri Ram to his younger brother Bharat? So he said, no. So I said, why don't you do it? So he said, those times were different. Okay, so he just said those times were different. You can do the same thing at this time because this time is different. So I said, that is why, God has come at this time so that He can give you an example of this time. And then I told him that, we have Mama and Baba before us. They belong to this Kali Yuga and they have done everything that Shiv Baba said. And this is why we have the courage, we have the confidence to follow into their footsteps and do the same thing. And then he said, okay, now I understand what you people are trying to say. Because most people, they will dismiss Baba's directions because it comes from an incorporeal source. And just like most people have dismissed what directions are given in the Gita or in the Ramayana, because they say that it belonged to a different time. Yes, so that is why Baba says that follow father, mother. And then Baba says the second sign of a good effort maker is they have mercy for their lives and pay full attention to remembering Baba. Yes, and I really like this term mercy for your life. Yes, and for the last some days, I have been thinking about how much everyone values their life. This is a very big question. You know, having mercy for your life is not about, just saying that I love my life or I think that human life is important. It's about preparing yourself in such a way that you are able to, even when you say about physical circumstances, let's say, somebody wants to live a long life, they have value for this human birth, then also they have to make preparations, they have to make choices every day which keep them healthy for very long. Even physical health, if you're not paying attention to physical health, can you have, is there even a chance that you can have a long and productive life in this birth? No, it's not. So those who have mercy for lives, yes, if you want to be treated with dignity, you have to, you have to ensure that you learn and you educate yourself and you create something for yourself. So everybody who values their life have to, invest in making that life worthwhile. And I will tell you about one incident. There was this one person in Delhi, and he was serving in a very big position in the government. And then, he had some issues with his wife, and that person, he committed suicide. And his father is still, very hurt because of that whole episode, and he's still struggling to, how to bring that wife to confess, and then how to, give his idea of justice is, they should go behind bars and all of that. But the interesting thing is, you see, you are a person who is serving in a very big position. You are educated, you are, you have the power of money, you have the power of contacts. But still, how could you take your life? Yes, because, if you don't fill yourself with the power to tolerate, power to face, if you don't have spiritual powers, you will yield to circumstances, you will succumb to pressure which is external. So this is very important to understand that if you have value for your life, then you must understand that you have to develop physical, financial, spiritual, every kind of strength so that you can continue. Yes, even, if, for example, when Jagdish Bhai Sahib left the body, then Shiv Baba in his Murlis told children that you should also pay attention to, to have the knowledge how to sustain your body. Yes, Baba said you should know how to sustain your body so that you can continue. You are a spiritual resource, and if you don't have the knowledge, or if you don't have the vision to build spiritual, physical, financial, every kind of strength, then how will you create your future, your fortune, and the fortune of many others? So Baba says those children who are good effort makers, they have mercy for their lives, and they pay attention to building resilience. And how do you build resilience? Only through spiritual effort. And the main effort is Baba's remembrance. Yes. And Baba has always, so do you understand that the challenges that are coming and are to come cannot be overcome by just determination or, fighting with those challenges? Because the challenges are 63 births of karmic accounts coming in front of you. And those karmic accounts are not going to be child's play. Those karmic accounts are going to test you in a very strong manner. And in the face of all of that, you need a lot of power of remembrance to overcome those challenges and continue on the spiritual journey. And when Baba says they have mercy for their lives, it is the Brahmin life that Baba is talking about. It is this confluence aged life. So when I have value for this confluence aged life, I will pay attention to building resilience in such a manner that no situation is able to, or no behavior, no karmic settlement is able to confuse me so much, or disempower me so much that I stop, or slow down my spiritual effort, or I go back on this spiritual journey. So if you value your spiritual life, you have to pay attention to remembering Baba. I will tell you one thing. There is this one sister, and this sister, she's always telling me that, Didi, I want to stay pure, and my husband is posing a lot of challenges, and now my children are also on my husband's side, and it is becoming more and more difficult, and every day I'm struggling. And of course, we assume that she must be remembering Baba. But then yesterday I asked her, what time do you get up for Amrit Vela? And she said, I'm not able to do Amrit Vela. I'm so bogged down with everything that's happening around me that I'm not doing Amrit Vela. So I told her, how do you think you will win this battle against Maya? If you are not concerned about doing Amrit Vela, then will you just fight with people and become pure? No. If you even so, it is possible that you can fight with people and win the battle. But purity will come from yoga. Even if you fight other people and win that war, your own sanskar will make you go into impurity again. Yes, so we sometimes don't understand that Baba's directions can be followed, or the spiritual path can be continuously followed only when you have power of remembrance. If you're not waking up at Amrit Vela, and if you're not filling yourself up with power, and I have had some time on this journey, and according to my experience, if you are not filling yourself with power at Amrit Vela, and you think, if you are so disillusioned that you think that later in the day I will make up my chart for remembrance, it is impossible. It's not happening. You have to have foundation of Amrit Vela. Amrit Vela is the only time which will lay the foundation of remembrance. So Baba says those children who have mercy on themselves, mercy on their lives, those who value the spiritual life, they will make effort to fill themselves with the power of remembrance. And this power of remembrance will help you overcome the obstacles on this journey. And every day, Baba is, cautioning us that Maya will come. Baba has never said that Maya will not come. Baba has even said that challenges which will try to, uproot you from this path will come every day, every second. So, if you really value this life, you have to pay a lot of attention to the power of remembrance, accumulating the power of remembrance. And that is what a good effort maker is like. A good effort maker is not somebody, who situations keep coming, you keep struggling, and then you keep getting tired day by day. And one day you get so tired that you say, this path is very difficult. No, Baba has never told us to deal with situations like that. Baba has said, you become a flying bird. You become a bird, you become like a bird with the wings of Gyan and Yog. So, if the wings are weak, the bird can't fly. So, if you fill yourself with the treasures of knowledge and you fill yourself with the power of remembrance, then you will be like this flying bird, crossing all obstacles in the way that a bird crosses mountains. So, you will not have to, push yourself against the mountain and, get hit and get tired. No, you don't have to create a pathway through the mountain. That is very cumbersome. You have to create a stage where you're flying across the mountain like a bird. And that will happen with these two wings, very strong, knowledge and yoga. And then Baba says, you also have to work on not being a touch me not. Yes, so have you seen a touch me not plant? You don't even touch it, you just come close to it, it wilts. Yes, so some children take a lot of pride in being sensitive. Yes, so anybody says something, anybody does something, anything happens, I just feel bad, I just start crying. Yes, so there's this one sister, and so even when she watches a drama, she will start crying. And she thinks that this is a very good quality, and she always gives her introduction that I'm very sensitive. So I told her, why do you say this with so much of pride? This is not a good sign. So she said, why is it not good? Being emotional, being sensitive is very good. So I asked her, would you like somebody who will always fall ill at the slightest change in weather? So very low immunity, and any slight change in weather and they start coughing or sneezing and they have fever, would you say this person is very healthy? So she said no. So I said, same goes for you. That's not healthy. If you are at the drop of a hat, in any change, anybody saying something, doing something is able to make you lose your peace, or lose your happiness, or lose your stability, that's not a good sign. So Baba always tells us that practice being soul conscious. When you become soul conscious, you don't take things personally. You understand that everybody is doing what their sanskars are dictating them. It's not about you, it's about the person doing it. So practice a lot of soul consciousness. And you see, sometimes children, they practice that, I will always see that this is a soul doing it. No. You can only perceive as you are. So if you don't perceive yourself as a soul, so whenever you are doing something, you are speaking something, doing something, if you don't have the awareness that it's not them who are driving me, it's my sanskar. I'm choosing my thought, word and act according to my sanskar. If you don't have this awareness, then you cannot have the awareness that somebody is doing it because of their sanskar. So first you have to understand that I'm not doing anything because of anybody else. Even if you get upset, you have to understand that I got upset because of my sanskar, not because of them. When you have this kind of soul consciousness, that you are able to see all your actions as your choices, and you are able to choose your actions despite circumstances, then you will have this power that whenever somebody does something, you can just see through it that it is not about you, it's about their sanskar. And then you will not be sensitive. Then when you're not sensitive, you're sensible. So you will be very sensible. You can see that, they are doing it because of themselves. You don't have to take it personally. You just have to figure out how to deal with this. And there is no point in upsetting yourself or spoiling your mood or getting hurt or anything. Yes, even if somebody comes and tells you you're good for nothing, you know that you are worthy. So if they're telling you good for nothing is, of no consequence. So you just have to understand that if they consider you like this, then how do you have to operate around them? Otherwise, you don't have to take anything personally. So Baba says that don't be a touch me not plant. Don't wilt at the slightest, thing in the external world. So these are so A, make effort for remembrance, follow Baba Mama, understand Baba Mama, see how, practically Baba Shrimat is carried on in a practical life, and then practice soul consciousness. Don't be a touch me not plant, and then you will be the one who overcomes all obstacles, is a Mahavir, and you have an unshakable, immovable, stable stage in the face of every storm from Maya. All right, Om Shanti. Anybody wants to share anything, please do.
Om Shanti, Didi.
Om Shanti.
Sorry, today I missed Amrit Vela.
Okay.
Yesterday I went to market. A lot of tiredness was there. Today Baba is trying to explain us that our mind is every time involved and engaged in drama only. Because in 63 verse we have always seen outside, never reflected inside. Now Baba is telling us to be antarmukhi. Only then our spiritual growth is possible.
Correct.
And drama will be on till end. And if we keep focusing on that, we will not be able to focus on studies, on yoga.
Right.
And this is what Baba said today.
Yes.
To make more efforts, be a good effort maker, and physically, mentally, emotionally, every way Baba makes us very strong.
Yes.
So that we can face everything very lightly,
Right.
like Baba.
Right.
So we have to follow Father, Mother.
Yes. And one thing, because you shared about Amrit Vela, always remember, if I made a mistake, let me not justify it in my mind. So, when you say that because I went to the market, because I got tired, so I couldn't do Amrit Vela, you have given yourself an excuse. And then what happens is, every time you are not doing Amrit Vela, or that you are going somewhere, this will become an excuse. So always know that how is my Amrit Vela related to the body getting tired? You see, this is recharging, not discharging. So even if I slept at 11 or 12, which is not recommended every day, but even if we did that, why can't I do Amrit Vela? Always know that it is not because of that, it's because I didn't pay attention. Yes, because I will tell you one thing, I have also dealt with all these things. That's why I'm sharing my experience. So, in the beginning of my journey, I used to justify my actions when I went against Srimat. So, I gave myself an excuse. And because of that, I couldn't correct myself. And then I stopped giving myself excuses. I told myself that no, why? How is this related to that? Getting up at Amrit Vela is my choice. And then when I started doing that, I could do it. So I'm talking from experience. Just adopt this and you will be able to do it. Okay?
Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Okay. Yes. Tracy, brother, you want to share something? No. Okay. Let's thank Baba for some time. Are you not able to unmute? No. Okay. Can you now? Yes. Yes. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello, how you doing? I just want to know, hey, what date is it over there? Is it the 21st?
It is the 21st.
Yeah, because I was going to the, I noticed I was a day behind. I was like, wait, I did that the previous day, so I have to be one day before. So it's the 20th over here.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Make sure I was.
Okay. So it is the 21st today. So if it is the 20th there, then you revise the 20th Murli and yesterday's class. That is also good. Yes. So today you heard it, tomorrow you can revise this. That is also good, not a problem. Or you have the Murli, so you can pay attention to the 21st one also, whichever way you like. Okay. Okay. Thank you.